she's listening to me.
It started with a boozy Barbie
That man should not drink top shelf, ever.
and ended with the theft of white goods.
Where is my fridge?
Bridget is a drama queen and Dave is a bully.
The moonshine's been flowing in Avondale, and evidently it's powerful stuff.
The one thing that would stop all of this is just if he would just stop.
I'm not going down without a fight.
We attended an audience with Bridget and her brother by another mother, Dave.
I met Bridget when Dad basically took her under his wing and helped her from then on. This is my sister, yes.
Yeah.
I see it like that, and I always will.
Bridget and Dave are very close to each other, and in their cosy Housing New Zealand complex, they're also very close to their neighbour, Mark.
He's right there. You cannot avoid him at any point. This is so close. I thought if we make real good friends here, I think that would be the answer. Wow, I never saw what came after that. I had no idea what was going to come next.
What came next was a barbecue with the neighbour. It was meant to be a chance for everyone to get to know each other and make friends. So Bridget brought along her Uncle Gray.
I had said to him, please, Mark, do not give Uncle Gray too much to drink because he's still got a bike home. I could tell that Uncle Gray was starting to get a bit wayward. And I said, Mark, please don't give him any more. That's when Mark turned around and started swearing at me. He called me a every name under the sun, which is not very nice.
Bridget and Dave were concerned not just with how much Uncle Gray was drinking, but what he was drinking.
We had drunk all the home brew, and it was now he had these bottles of homemade top shelf. I even said to Bridget, this is really strong. Keep an eye out for Uncle because you know what will happen. He shouldn't even be drinking.
But Uncle Gray was unable to resist the neighbour's homemade coconut rum. It was the last thing he needed.
Well, apparently when he had left here to bike home, he actually came off his bike. He donned his head. He actually dislocated one of the discs in his back. I was very, very upset and I lost it. I said, that's enough, Mark. You do not give my uncle any more alcohol. Well, he told me, you don't tell me what to do. And I said, excuse me?
Dave says Uncle Gray wasn't the only one affected by the neighbour's generous pours.
In the end, Mark was pouring them half and half. And he was just like, he changed. Whoa, did he change. That man should not drink top shelf, ever. Hello,
Ever.
Mr. Hyde, Meat Jekyll, man.
Despite the unfortunate incident with Uncle Gray and his push bike, Bridget and Dave invited Mark to a bash at a popular South Auckland buffet restaurant.
We went out to Happy Days for a 5-year-old's birthday party.
All you can eat buffet.
I said to Mark, we will shout you fuel, we will shout you all the food, would you like to come? And of course, everything was fine until we started on that journey. We got back here, I had to shoot home and feed the cats, right? And he come roaring in here and he goes, where's Brother Dave? I'm supposed to get my $10 petrol.
And I turned around and said to him, Mark, surely you can wait. If Brother Dave doesn't come back, surely you can wait till the morning. No, I want it now.
She said what he said. I was quite disturbed by it, calling her this and that and like unloading on her. And it's like, woo, bro, you know, don't bring no colour code in here. By the end of that evening, he'd really tainted everything that we tried to do as a good thing. It ruined the evening.
Little did Dave and Bridget know, but the unhappy day at Happy Days would not be the last unhappy day.
He started a barrage of stereo wars. He would get up and turn the stereo up just to provoke her, get her to play the stereo, and then he'd jump in his car, and then noise control would arrive. Boom, gotcha. Goodbye, stereo.
That's right. Ironically for Bridget, it was her stereo that was seized. Not this one, this is the replacement.
This girl's had to go and buy a brand new stereo.
Bridget may have lost her stereo thanks to Mark, but she also gained a fridge from him, at least temporarily.
He'd got a brand new fridge and he wanted to sell the older fridge. So we did the deal. I paid him $65 and paid him up. I never thought I needed a receipt.
As it happens, proof of purchase for the fridge would have been useful because of what Dave discovered when he went out to the laundry one day.
Fridge? What's happened?
Yeah?
Where's the fridge, girl? What's happened to the fridge?
What's happened?
Someone's taken the fridge. Where's it gone?
What? Oh my God! Where is my fridge?
I did my own detective work. I can see track marks of my hand truck. That's when I said to this girl, I said, ring the cops back. I think he's got your fridge in his lockup.
The police were called and eventually the fridge was indeed found in Mark's lockup. But Dave and Bridget's joy at having their fridge returned was to be short-lived.
And there's the cable where he just severed it clean. I thought if that was all the problem, I thought, right, okay, I can put another head on it and it'll work again. However, when looking inside, he's vandaled it. He's committed a crime. All I know is this, he's been in there, nearly a year, about a year, and there was only 3 months of nice, and there's just 9 months of real nasty.
Just one wall away from Bridget and Dave, we met South African fishing and homebrew enthusiast Mark.
I started doing beers at one stage, but I was doing spirits for a while as well. I really started enjoying making it, tasting it.
This distilling cylinder is all that remains of Mark's one-time-in-demand home distillery. In fact, he hasn't served his notorious firewater since the ill-fated barbecue with Bridget, Dave and the unfortunate Uncle Gray.
She blamed me for the fall. She blamed me for giving him alcohol. And I turned around and said, "You gotta be kidding me. I don't feel responsible for people's consumption of the drink." Bridget was sitting there and she should have been responsible for Graham and how much he actually drank.
Mark says the real problem with the barbecue wasn't the drink, it was the food.
Dave decided to go cook some chicken. The chicken was frozen solid, as he put it, on the barbecue. He didn't really know if they were cooked or not. He didn't check. When I bit into the chicken, I instantly felt that it was raw. Oh, yeah, man. It's not cooked. And in my own head, I started freaking because basically chicken is one of the worst foods that you can have when it's raw. Bloody hell, what you guys doing? The chicken was raw as anything on the inside and burnt on the outside. So people believed that it was cooked, but then I told Bridget it wasn't. She went off in rockers at me, and I said, "I'll go put these into your oven." So I chucked them into the oven and turned the oven on.
The chicken could be saved by just a few minutes in the oven, but a damaged friendship is harder to fix, as Mark discovered in the days following.
They were starting out there threatening me, saying that we're going to F you up and all that sort of stuff. So basically, yeah, just to block that out, I turned it right up.
What Mark turned up was his stereo, or more specifically,
Demonic
music.
Iron Maiden, all death music. It's all evil. It's like got this incantation where you just hear this boom, doom, doom.
Mark says he was simply fighting fire with fire, or classic hits with death metal.
They started doing it to me, 60s, 70s, 80s, like the rap music. They're using the stereo to be as a weapon, to antagonize me, just to bring me down.
But attempts to bring Mark down have not been limited to golden oldies used in anger, as Mark discovered on his way to his car one day.
As I was leaving, Bridget throws a cup at my car, and then she starts, going nuts at me.
Mark got the whole thing on his phone.
Go on.
Take a photo of me. Take it.
This was the moment Mark decided to sever all ties with Dave and Bridget. But remember, Dave says Mark severed something else too.
There's the cable where he just severed it clean.
The fridge incident, it went into the back laundry, and they put it onto my side of the laundry, and they started using my power. They plugged it into my socket. They started using my power for the freezer, for the drinks, for everything. And I kept on asking them, please use your own power. And they'll unplug it, but then I keep finding it back in the socket, and they kept on using the power. So basically, I yanked the cord out, I cut the plug off, and Dave came straight over and started bashing on my back door, going, "You arsehole, where's my fridge?"
I said, Mark, I know you're in there. Where is the fridge?
He came through to the front door and he started throwing swear words and threatening and everything as well. He went off and they called the police, and then basically the police came over. I revealed everything. I did say I did have the fridge.
No charges were laid, but Mark acknowledges he shouldn't have removed the fridge.
I should have just stuck it on their property, but therefore I was thinking I was trespassing, so I might as well just stick it into my shed.
Moonshine, uncooked chicken, loud music, and a stolen fridge. These are only some of the sore points in this epic dispute.
I'm ready to flip.
Don't even ask about the cat kidnapping
I kidnapped my animals.
That man should not have cats.
or the threats
Death threats started coming out.
or the burglaries
I'm supposed to have broken in there 3 times, but nothing's been stolen.
or what happened to Mark's passion fruit.
They slaughtered it.
Just stop. No more, because I can't take any more.
They turned everybody against me, but I'm not going down without a fight.
Here at Neighbours at War, we specialise in custom-built truces. So we asked a prominent New Zealander if he'd come out of semi-retirement to help us build one.
Be astonished if we can't sort something out with this, because when you look at it, what is it they're actually fighting over? It's all such inconsequential stuff. We must be able to get a result out of this.
This is undoubtedly the cheapest set Mark has shuffled his papers on. But it could be the scene of a small triumph if things go well at the Avondale Lions Club Hall today.
So, let's start with probably the incident that seems to have caused a lot of this, and this is the barbecue. Just tell me what happened there and what was the problem from your perspective.
From my perspective, I did say to Mark, please, Mark, don't let Uncle Graham drink too much, because he hasn't had a drink in 25 years.
Did Bridget say to you, Mark, look, don't let Uncle Graham drink too much?
Well, they did, but I never served them up alcohol. They were serving themselves.
Do you accept, Bridget, that Mark might have thought he's an adult, he can look after himself?
Yes, I do agree with that.
Okay, so let's draw a line under Uncle Graham.
Uncle Gray, wherever he is, will no doubt be glad to hear he is no longer an impediment to peace in Avondale. We're underway.
Now, the chicken. The same night, around the same time, you had an argument over some chicken.
He had a problem with the chicken. No one else did.
How on earth can a bit of chicken cause a row?
Well, that's what I'm busy thinking, because the chicken was raw. I approached Bridget and I actually said to her that the chicken was actually raw. And she just went totally mental at me, saying, no, Dave actually cooked it.
Everybody else had the same chicken and nothing was wrong with their chicken, only the one you had.
All I said was the chicken was raw, and then she told me that she didn't want to see me because she was getting angry.
Is this crazy to be arguing over a bloody chicken.
Yeah, it is crazy. It is.
Crazy
really.
enough that you can say, let's just forget about the chicken, let's just put the chicken behind us.
Definitely.
Yes.
Okay, the chicken is gone.
Yes.
All right. Now, what's happening with the stereos?
They turn the stereo right up all day, every day, turning it right up and right down, right up, right down, just to intimidate me.
That is incorrect, Mark. You're the one that first started off the stereo
No,
war.
that's what you guys did.
If Bridget rings you up and says, can you turn it down, do you do that?
Well, generally, no, because they don't do it for me.
So it's
Oh, that's a lot of lies.
All I want to do is get
that's
some
a
peace
lie.
and quiet at my
That's
place
a
because of their
blown
stereo.
full-out lie.
Can I tell you something, Mark? In all my days on planet Earth, I have never met someone who is so diabolical that you could go from being a normal, nice person to what you have done to my sister is unforgivable.
And what you have
You
done
need
to
help.
me.
You need help.
What have you done
You
to
need
me?
help.
You need help.
Hang on. Can we at least agree on a truce on the stereos?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mark, you're happy to have a truce on the stereos?
Definitely.
Okay. You've agreed, stereo war is over.
Oh,
What was the story with the fridge?
Well, generally, it was on my side of the laundry.
And you think they were stealing your power?
Definitely, because I've seen it plugged in so many times.
Couldn't you plug it into your own socket?
there was nothing to put in that fridge. There was no reason to turn the damn thing on.
I mean, a row over a fridge and who's
No, he stole the fridge. He stole her fridge and vandalised it. And it was malicious and it was planned and it was conniving and it was evil.
Where is the fridge now?
It's still vandalised in her shed.
Did you damage their fridge?
I didn't really damage it. All I did was cut the plug off.
Oh, you
Vandalised it.
vandalised it.
And he's mangled and wrecked all the inside. It's had it.
That's definitely not true.
You
That's
need
the
help.
originally that it
Well,
was like.
Okay.
excuse me.
Do you accept that you had no right to cut off the plug on the fridge?
Well, I felt like I did have a right because they were warm.
But when you think about it, if you had a beef with them over the power, you didn't choose a good way of dealing with it.
I accept that,
You
yes.
accept that, all right. So how are we going to sort this out?
Well, he owes her a new fridge.
What if Neighbours at War pay for a technician to come in, look at the fridge, work out what's wrong with it, fix it, and have it back going for you guys? All right? You happy with that?
I'll be happy with
You
it.
happy with that, Mark?
Definitely.
Right. That finally put this to bed. Can you shake hands?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good on
Thank
you.
God. Thank God for that.
Good on you.
God for that.
I wish you both luck.
Yeah. He's a crazy guy. When I first met him, I thought we get on good. I don't know where this went wrong.
Dave, who cares where this went wrong? Because it's now come right.
Now I can get myself back on track without having too many issues.
We definitely will try and work things out and try and be as civil as we can.